What's up, everybody? We're back again. It's episode 302 of the Dad Bod Golf Pod. It's Kyle and Ben recording live from bunkers in Auburn.
Kyle called me fat, by the way.
I told him his whole face takes up the whole screen. So we gotta zoom out. You're gonna have
I had fish. It's just swelling.
You're gonna have ambient music in the background. You're gonna have drivers smashing. This is the atmosphere that you're gonna be in when you come to bunkers and
Total pandemonium that's going on.
Total pandemonium. It's awesome. It's awesome. We love this place. We're gonna be here every show. Talk about a few announcements. They're the New Year's Eve. Okay, they started thinking about it. You got football games all day long. Okay, and this place is set up. When you rent the simulator, you can play, but you can also flip it and watch football games. So like you could come in here, pay the hourly rate with a bunch of dudes, watch or if the girls want to watch football, they can come too. Watch football all day long, halftime of games, in between games, flip it, go play a couple of holes, play a couple of games on the simulator, flip it back, be weighted on hand and foot.
Yes.
So they're no longer going to do a New Year's party. So they're going to do game simulators all day. Last reservation is going to be 8:00 on New Year's Eve. And then New Year's Day is going to be the same thing. Simulators all day, football.
You can actually hit balls while the game is going on.
Yeah, I mean,
if you want. If you just feel like you can't stand the fact that you're sitting in a simulator and you can't have a club in your hand, do you know what?
Just rip one. You get mad
when Bama's playing and you don't like it. Just wail into them, man.
Hey, if you get backdoor covered, if you get backdoored and you lose your bet and you just want to rip a driver into the screen, you can do that. You'll have no idea where it goes, but you can still, just rip it in there and release the frustration. But look, so obviously we're here at Bunkers, but tonight's episode is brought to you also by Believe, the number one sports betting website in the country. We're just talking about sports betting. Sign up today. Use coupon code Believe, BLEAV. Get a 50% welcome bonus. Give them $100. They're going to give you 50 back on top of it to play with. Bowl season's here. There's tons of bowl stuff. This is parlay season. Bowl season is parlay season. Get you an 8-teamer going on New Year's Eve. Like get your account ready where you can just start pounding bowl games.
Listen, I think minimum bet is $2. Go ahead and grab you one of those 9-team parlays for $2. It pays out like $650 if you hit.
Never gonna win, but do it. It's fun. It's fun, and who knows? You may get 7 out of the 8 and get to that last one and get you a little hedge action. Get a little.
By the way, I will say, probably 10 years ago, when I was also betting online at that time, that was before Bet Online existed, but still betting online. I did hit one of those 17 parlays for $2. It ended up paying me out like $750.
Yeah.
And that allowed me to lose all the rest of it later on here bowl season.
Exactly. But we're going to win. You're going to win at Believe. So I'm sorry, you're going to win at Bet Online. So sign up today and have a blast. Bet Online is where the game starts. All right. So Ben, one of my favorite events to watch in golf every year is the PNC. And mainly because we know Tiger's just basically going to have to be in a wheelchair to miss it. So it's like guaranteed Tiger golf. And he's relaxed, having fun. So that was this weekend, and
because of the rain, everybody got to ride on Saturday.
Yes,
and it made it so much faster.
It was a little bit of a bummer. Anytime it's raining, it just kind of, I don't know, it makes it not as fun. But it's always fun to watch Tiger.
Yeah,
and some of the other guys play. The big topic, they didn't play great. They didn't.
No, not on Saturday. They did not.
Very good. But they just didn't really. They were never really in contention. Who ended up winning? Duvall or Kuchar?
The
Longers won. Wow.
Yeah, they could not. Front 9, they made one par. Everything else was birdies. Back 9, 5 birdies maybe on the back.
But what did the Kuchar shoot? Because they shot 50. They broke the record for the first round.
And then after that, they went. I don't think they made a birdie till 11 or 12.
Wow.
There was a lid on the hole for them on Sunday, and so no, they didn't. Matter of fact, I think Tiger and Charlie tied with it. They may have beat the Cougars.
That's impossible. that really happened?
No, it really happened. Like they were only like 3 under for the day. Like they literally had the worst day. No, you and I probably could have beat the Coochers on the final day on Sunday.
Get some
Because
Coochers.
I mean, you and I have scrambled before, and we've definitely shot better than 3 under.
They only shot 4 under.
I think.
Yeah, wow. That is.
And
Talk
again,
about
that
a-
first birdie did not come until back 9, and of course they birdied 18 because that's such a short par 5. So that was almost a gimme. So they should at least be 1 under on the back because of the number 18, because everybody birdied 18.
Yeah.
So really, they only shot really 3 under because that's a glorified par 4. 18 is out there at that.
Yeah.
course.
So the longest win. I think they've won, but he's won it before with
Yes, they have. He won it with that same son. His daughters played with him.
like 2014 whenever he won it, I think. So
Yeah.
several years ago, 9 years.
That kid is 23. If I'm not mistaken, did not play college golf. He basically lives in New York, works downtown, and they told the story, has an automatic membership to some major New York country club. You talk about living the life. 23, single, New York City,
Sign
play
me,
golf whenever he wants.
sign me up.
You and I have our dads to blame. They're not professional golfers.
Yeah, it's that'd be pretty epic.
And he's a good looking kid, so I don't see him settling down anytime soon.
He's a sharp dude. Well, yeah, so the biggest talk, and Charlie seems to grow multiple inches every single
God.
year. And I know that happens a lot. We got a rogue golf ball over here. I know that happens as these kids, this age group where they grow quite a bit, but Charlie is absolutely bombing the ball. And that was a lot of the talk. He bombed it. He was doing the whole recoil. He waved at it a few times, which I'm not gonna lie, kind of rubbed
Okay,
me
he
wrong.
only waved at it once. It's not a few times. He waved at it one time.
But I feel like I've seen it a million times. I feel like as many times I've seen it, I feel like he did it all 18 times or all
Let me
14.
just tell you, Kyle, you couldn't sit in the cart with me if I could hit it 320. I would never let you let it down.
I don't really like sitting in the car with you when you hit 250.
230. You're just make sure you get the numbers right.
No, but it's sort of scary how similar his mannerisms.
Yes.
I mean, it's scary.
His just the simple stuff of his walk, his mannerisms when he's holding his finger up for a putt that may be going in. I've never seen Tiger wave at a ball. That's something I've not seen. So that's a new one. Charlie's got to come up with his own deal. Maybe that's it. The recoil reminds me of Tiger 99 through probably 07. He doesn't do it anymore because of the legs and done it for a while because of the legs, but because all of his knee surgeries and back surgeries. But
let's just talk real. That does nothing. The recoil does not do anything.
No, it doesn't. It just looks cool on TV.
It doesn't mean that you swung harder. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean it's
No.
after the swing, actually. Like
No,
it literally does nothing.
I'm no pro golfer, but I will tell you the things that Kyle and I have been told, that the impact point, like basically from about midway down to about midway up during your swing is where all the speed is generated. So anything after that is just show.
All right. So look, I'm a little bit younger than you, not much, but I was probably 9 or 10 years old when Tiger first came out. Okay.
And see, he's a year older than me. So I've followed him ever since.
Y'all are basically the same age. Like you followed him home.
Yes. I've seen him since his first amateur. I've followed his entire, that's why people ask, they go, why are you a Tiger fan? Well, because the Golf Channel got big when Tiger came about. And he and I are basically the same age. And so it was kind of, you could relate to him. You're like, hey, that dude's my age and he's shooting 25 under at Pebble Beach. So that's pretty cool to watch because I can't shoot 25 under at Pebble Beach.
Is this all right? So let's just be honest. Like for some reason, people like it rubbed people. Some of the old golf people, it may have rubbed them the wrong way. The way Charlie behaved.
The people that don't like music on the golf course rub them the wrong way.
Is that similar to when is their behavior similar?
Yes. The fist pump drove old dudes crazy when
Yeah.
Tiger made a birdie into the fist pump. The whole lifting the club in the air and then doing the huge fist pump really drove them crazy.
Let me ask you this. Why do you think it bothered me? This is a thought experiment. This is like psychology.
It bothered you when Charlie did it?
Yeah. I don't know why.
Probably because, okay, so I have a 14 and a 15-year-old.
The waving. I don't know that. I was just like, you know what? You can't do that.
Okay,
yet.
let me go ahead and preempt this. Let me go ahead and say this. I've got a 14 and 15-year-old. So every 14-year-old, because that's what Charlie is. I mean, and every 14-year-old is a jerk. That's just bottom line. So
And 14-year-old boys are the dumbest thing.
and that's the thing. If you factor in that they're a 14-year-old boy, they're more of a jerk than my girls are. So I had zero problem with it. Now, if he's doing that at 22 when he's on tour, that's a little different. But the people that were like laying into him, especially the old guys, and I'm like, did y'all not ever hang out with a 14-year-old? I mean, I hang out with 45-year-olds that do that on a golf course.
Yeah.
So
Ben, you do that on a golf course.
I do that on a golf course. And usually in pink shorts and like some sort of really bright shirt.
The first time you told me that ball was killed or that ball was crushed, I'm going to be honest. I was ready to leave.
Now here's the thing that I do to Kyle. Kyle outdrives me. Just about all my friends outdrive me. And I'll hit a ball straight that won't have like a buttercut on it. And it usually sounds good. And I'll turn around and Kyle and I'll go, effing hammered.
Amber. Yeah.
And it's not hammered. It goes every bit of 240. So to me, it's a joke. But yeah, I could see where it would rub people the wrong way.
This was not a joke. He was not joking.
No, but he hit his 320. I didn't hit my 320.
Dude, some of the drives he hit. So
he drove a green that is 320. He hit the ball 341 yards.
and now there was one that was downwind that he hit. He drove the green that was 355.
Yeah.
And I remember you could hear him in the audio say, I was greenside yesterday or something like that. So like he had hit it up around the same area yesterday. He hit it on the green, 355. Now the wind was howling downwind, but still. And then he drove
the
over.
other one that he drove the green that went 321. It was not downwind. It was
No.
calm as can be. And he landed it
pin high.
pin high and it rolled out and went over the green. They still putted, but it went over the green. It was on the back fringe. It is amazing. A 14-year-old. Now, I've never had that kind of club head speed. And he's 14, and I know he's put on muscle, and I know he's wider. But the fact that he's shorter than Tiger, he's shorter than JT, and yet he's out driving his dad, and he's out driving his dad's friends, professional golfers. It made me think he's only going to get bigger and stronger. He's 14.
Yeah.
When he gets 18, 19, 20 years old and he starts, quote unquote, filling out. Now, you got the rollback going, but still, what did Rory say that the rollback's going to cost him maybe 15 yards off the tee total?
Yeah.
So still, he could still be hitting the ball.
300 plus.
Yeah, easily 300. He could still, right now he's hitting at 320. He's still going to be hitting at 320 after the rollback because he's only going to get bigger and stronger from here. So, and with the technology today and what he has available with his dad, with swing coaches, with honestly, the biggest shock for me was number one, his length that he had, but number two, he's been putting with his dad's old Scotties. He used the JT putters.
I noticed that.
He's got the JT. So you can tell he and JT have been hanging out. He and JT use the same putter. And their relationship on Saturday is really, it's going to be really interesting. He's going to be on tour regardless of what happens to his collegiate, unless he gets hurt or injured or really hurts his back
Will
or
Live
something.
Golf that give him $1 billion.
Oh my gosh. They probably already offered it. See,
He
don't
will
go
be
to
the
college.
first $1 billion.
Don't go to college. Here's $1 billion to come play live golf.
Why not? I mean, we're giving John Rahm $600 million. How many people are going to come to the course if Charlie Woods is in the field? You could not sell enough tickets.
His dad's not going to let him do it.
I know, but I mean, they would give him $1 billion. Ben, they would give Charlie.
It took his dad 18 years to be the first $1 billion athlete. And Charlie could do it at 18 years of age. Like as soon as he graduates high school, which could be 17, he could be pacing ahead for all I know with all these people that finish early. At 17 years of age, he could be the first billion-dollar athlete at 17.
Hey, let me tell you something. If Tiger was Charlie and had Tiger's mindset, Tiger would take the billion so he could say he beat his dad.
Oh, Tiger would have done it in a heartbeat. Yeah.
Oh man, it's that will give him. He could possibly. I mean, I'm telling you, they would pay him $1 billion. I really do believe they would pay him $1 billion if they're still around in 3 or 4 years.
No, Tiger was hurt and not playing, and they offered him $1 billion.
Yeah,
I mean, this kid is hitting at 320, and he's getting $1 billion.
exactly.
If he doesn't, there will be a sponsor. His endorsement deals will be over $1 billion.
Totally. Because
So
here's my thing though. Here's my question. Okay, so I didn't see the whole tournament. Okay, so I don't know. And we kind of talked about a little bit last time. I
I'm
didn't
gonna be honest with you. I'm a Tiger nut hugger. Quit watching after he got done.
after what?
After he and Charlie finished on Sunday, I didn't watch the rest of it.
Yeah, shut it off. Who cares? I'm not going to come watch the Coochers and the Longers battle it
Right.
out down the stretch.
The
Yeah.
Longers and the Coochers coming down the stretch. No,
Maybe if John Daly,
sign me up for pro football on Sunday afternoon. I'm not doing that.
maybe if John Daly was, I may hang in for that, but otherwise, yeah, I'm with you. So here's my question. We talked about this a little bit last time, but how good is Charlie? Like they were talking about, is he going to win 10 like could he win 10 majors? And the reason I asked that is because he just did the Nota Begay junior tournament. I think we talked about it, and he finished 2 over. And the winner in his age group was 17 under. I know he won the state championship, the team state championship at golf. I don't know what he shot.
He shot like 72, 76. He was the only freshman on the team. They talked about that during the tournament.
Yeah.
Only freshman that's ever played for that high school on the team. And the coach picked him because he said he's familiar with his course, so I'm going to let him play. And he had the best score out of all 4 of them.
Okay.
Best 2 scores out of 5 of them. Out of the 5 of them that played. His issue, and I noticed this weekend because I watched a lot of the tournament. His wedge game is fine around the green. He can't putt. And his speed is off. His reads are off. So, as well as I do, that's where Tiger has made a lot of his money through the years. Everybody wants to talk about Tiger's length when he was younger. Tiger has made, as one pro said one time, I know when he's got something inside of 15 feet, it's made. So I move on because I know that he's going to make a 50. Rocco Media said it when they were,
Make it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he knew, and I know everybody goes, well, that's got to be the mindset. No, Rocco really thought he was going to make it.
Yeah.
And same thing with any sort of match play championship. I mean, ask Stephen Ames. He found out the hard way whenever he talked about him. So that's one thing that Charlie's got to get better at is his short game and his putting. He did make some putts. He made some key putts. I mean, he made the birdie on 18 to close them out. So he can make them when it counts. But there were a couple of times where he left eagle putts 15 feet short.
Yeah.
And
I noticed another one where he was just, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's the I feel like no young kids can putt. That's just like a learn.
And look, he chipped in, so he's good with his wedge game.
Yeah. He was inside Tiger a lot.
Around the green, he's good with his wedge game. That was another thing that I noticed that hurt his approaches, and maybe that's what hurt him in the Nota Begay tournament, where even though the next guy finished 17 over and he finished 2 over, he probably could have finished under par. But anytime he's inside probably 120, there's no telling where he's hitting. He was hitting it anywhere from tight to he would fly the pin 20 yards. And I mean, there was one, they had an 89-yard shot, and he flew the green. And so I think his touch and his feel's just not quite there yet. But
I saw him.
But he's 14.
I saw him natural birdie. I'm talking at least 3 holes a day. It seemed like.
Yes.
But there were some par fours where he could hit driver and then like a little flip wedge
Mm-hmm.
from 60 to 80 yards, and he would be inside Tiger.
Yes.
I mean, he's definitely got the skills. The funniest thing was, and this is kind of going back to, what we were talking about earlier when it's talking about like, how does it make you feel to watch him do some of the stuff he did? Well, it bothers Tiger. See what he said
About he said he was talking about his staring at the phone all the
That's
time.
not it. He was talking about how he, the whole, you swing when you hit a bad shot and you swing and you just let go of the club.
Yeah.
Charlie's really good at that. Like he's got that move down. Whenever he misses an iron, he lets it go, but it's perfect. And Tiger said something like that really bothers him when he does stuff like that. But then he goes, but then I realized I used to do that. So it's kind of looking in a mirror, and it is sort of like self-realization. So
they used the term sins of the father this weekend on the broadcast because Tiger gets upset with him, things that he did. And it's like Tiger said, he said, I guess I got to have that talk with him is do as I say, not as I did. Because Tiger has said that he's a little, he had a little bit of a hot head and a little, he's a little full of himself too. So he's trying to keep him grounded. Again, I keep going back to everybody talking bad about him doing the waving or the money sign when he makes a putt or the lifting the club. At the end of the day, he's 14 years old. There's so much more golf in his future that we're going to see. So I didn't think anything of it, and that's another thing. Kyle, if they put you on national television at 14, how dumb would you look at 14 years of age on national TV?
Look, I say I didn't like it, but if I can ever get my length back to where I want it to be, if you don't think I'm going to wave at some when I hit it, you just don't know who I am.
I've waved at some years ago off the reservation.
Well, it's a different way. That's a different way.
Yeah.
I've saluted some.
Yes.
So long. That's all, folks. That type stuff. But no, it's he's gonna be fun to watch. I mean, gosh, it's like anytime he does anything, Charlie's gonna be in the PIP conversation before long.
Yeah.
He moves the needle. I'm curious to see though. Here's another thing I'm curious to see with Charlie. So we just watched our buddy Trace Grove play into the get his card on the PGA Tour. Is Charlie going to have to go through that whole process? That's another thing. Like, think about that. Like, is he going to have to go through Q school? Is he going to have to do the PGA Tour?
University? If he follows in his dad's footsteps, which is a big step. Everybody says, well, what if he wins the USAM? Because when you win the USAM, you're going to get
some major appearances,
major exemptions. Then if you do well in those majors, if you do well in those tournaments, more exemptions will come along. And the more tournaments you play in, you're going to eventually get your card. So he may not have to go through Q school. However, and that's another thing. I mean, think about the people that they're going to give him a sponsor exemption. I mean,
that's a great thing.
Like, I mean,
even he'll never have to do Corn Ferry. He can just use sponsors exemptions for every tournament he wants to play in.
Tiger said that he wanted Charlie to go to school like he did, like to have to take classes and that kind of stuff and kind of basically ground him a little bit. And so if he ends up going to college, which I'm assuming he won't go anywhere but Stanford if that happens, which you got to be thanking your lucky stars if you're that Stanford head coach that Charlie Woods is probably headed to you. But think about that. If he goes to college, how many times does he get to play on the weekends as a college student because somebody gave him sponsor exemption? Now the NIL is a thing. So he can take that money now.
He's going to make so much NIL.
Yes.
Like so much. So he'll be a fun one to watch. He'll be a fun one to watch for sure. The next thing,
by the way, you mentioned it. Congrats, Trace Kirk. I know you listen from time to time. That's big, man. Congrats. Got your card, finished top 5 in Q school, top 5 and ties advanced. There were no ties, so there's only 5 of them that advanced out of that. He's one of the 5. We've had a chance to visit with him, talk with him too on social media and that kind of thing. Very cool that he's headed to the tour, so we'll get to see him. I don't know how early he starts. I don't know. I mean, Century Tournament Champions he won't be in, but I don't know if he's already able to qualify and jump into some of those Hawaiian tournaments and make some of that West Coast swing. But it'd be fun to watch and see Auburn dive in.
Absolutely. Good job. Good job, Trace. He played really good last year, just in general. And now he gets a shot. So big time, big time. Moving on, I think this is a fascinating topic. Kevin Kisner is apparently getting some tryouts to be a golf analyst. Ben has a little bit more info on the actual like the process of it, but immediately I thought of one person that this it's a
Go ahead and throw it out there.
it's a comparison. No, tell us like what he's getting. He said something like he gets how many broadcasts does he get?
He's been told he's doing 2. So he'll be at the first tournament of the year, Century Tournament of Champions, and then he'll do that next Hawaiian tournament.
Yeah, the one nobody watches.
Yeah, the one nobody watches, which probably is good. And basically they asked him, they said, "What do you think about this? Are you excited?" He goes, "Well, they're giving me a tryout. See if I cuss too much on the air."
This is okay. This is the comparison. This is the Pat McAfee of golf. This is what this is. Pat, they threw Pat McAfee out there to save College Game Day, to save some of the ESPN broadcasts, and they were like, "We'll just give him 2 shots. Let's see what happens." It was a big hit. It was a huge hit, and now he's like one of the biggest things for ESPN. This is going to be the exact same thing, and I'm just hoping Kisner is funny, but he's kind of shy. Can he be Pat McAfee-esque?
He's also very dry.
Very dry.
He says stuff.
He's got to do that.
He says stuff in the background that you got to pay attention to, or you will miss it.
You have to be paying, but he has to do that. He can't be technical. If Kisner is a technical analyst, it's going to be terrible.
No, he needs to go into, I don't know why in the hell he would hit that shot there in that situation. Like he needs to go into calling guys stupid and like he's done in press conferences and saying, you know, what a bonehead move that guy is doing this and he should have done this. And he needs to do that. Tell
stories. Like one time John Rahm took 4 shots out of my belly button or something like that. I mean, he's got to do stuff.
Yes. He needs to tell that stuff that, and I do wonder. I wonder how many players hit guys up like him and say, "Man, don't share this and don't share that," because you know that the broadcast crew is going, "We need you giving us that stuff that other people don't hear about that will allow." Because they are PGA. You and I talked about this on the last podcast. PGA Tour is in a downward spiral right now, and if they don't do something different, which they are with Kisner, if they don't do something different, they're losing some audience, and especially because it's those old fogies that are running the tour, and so that's kind of what they're stuck on. So I will say I look forward to it. I mean, they kept showing over and over his press conference where he said, "Well, they pay a lot of money for 20." That's the kind of stuff I want to see. I want him giving that shock thing that nobody wants to talk about, because no other player, all the years we've watched golf, how many guys have talked about how much money they made as 20th place? And he did that. And everybody's like, "Can't believe he said," well, the old people were like, "Can't believe he said that." And meanwhile, people like you and I were going, "Finally, somebody admitted they're right. They make a ton of money to go out there and play golf."
It's never been a secret with him though. Like he's always said it. He's like, "I'm not going to win at Bethpage. I'm not going to win at Torrey Pines, but they pay a ton of money for 20th."
Yeah. And the fact that he didn't hide the fact that he drinks, that he plays music on a golf course when he plays. I'll give a shout out to somebody that's also in the pod business, you know, the Barstool guys. He hangs out with those guys and he has zero problem drinking and playing. And
you think he's going to be on course? Is it going to be on course?
Oh, I hope they said he's taking Azinger's spot the first 2.
He's going to be in the booth.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to throw Smiley into the ocean and let Kisner be on the course, or I don't know. Is Kisner going to work in the booth?
They're giving it. He's going to be in the booth for.
I'm saying, do you think that'll work? I feel like
I don't know, because he's going to be in there with Dan Fouts, who's just dry as can be.
Yeah,
it may be a total flop. I don't know.
We got 2 shows to make it happen. Come on, kids, we're pulling for you.
We are.
Think Pat McAfee.
Will they let him have a dip while he's in there? You know, he dips all the time.
He needs to. get that lip hot, that's when the words start flowing. So I think that's probably it for tonight. Look, guys, tonight we talked about it. There's no New Year's party at Bunkers, but what better way if you just go out on a rager for New Year's Eve, a rager, you're hungover, but you want to watch football. They're serving brunch at 10 o'clock. Okay. On New Year's Day.
Yeah.
So get your butt up, come in here, rent you out a simulator, watch football, eat some fantastic food. And then in between commercials, in between halftime,
Yes.
in between games, go play Pebble Beach, go play St. Andrews, just rip balls with rage because you didn't hit that 3-teamer into a blank screen. I mean, you could do whatever. You could do it all here.
Book your time too. There's Kyle and I, you notice that Kyle looks the same. My background looks a little different. The reason being is because somebody booked ours for a birthday party.
Yeah.
So book your birthday, but they even allow them to bring their own cake. So they're gonna like surprise the lady with a cake, which decorated and all that kind of stuff. So whether it's a special occasion or it's just a random Friday night, book these guys. They'll be more than happy to take care of you. The wait staff has been fantastic. I mean, while I was sitting here, I had 2 glasses sitting beside me, but one's been taken up. So they sneak in and they take care of you from time to time. So if you get an opportunity, I can't say enough about this place. We've been treated well. You know, one of the guys, Wes, is here tonight, and he told us, he said, love what you guys are doing, and if you need anything, let me know. And that's it. He doesn't just do that for us. I mean, he does that for everybody, and Matthias and the staff that, you know, the bar manager. I mean, those guys are awesome. So
I'm looking at 2 burgers walking by right now that are bigger than my face. You see how you had to
you just walk right behind me. Those of you that rewind that, those of you that are watching, and watch how big those are.
That chicken sandwich looks absolutely phenomenal. It's bigger than
That's the whole damn chicken that's on there.
That's incredible. And here comes the pizzas too. So it's going to be this place has got it going on. So
yes,
check them out, and we appreciate you guys listening. This is episode 302 of the Dad Bod Golf Pod, and we're always
broken.